Welcome to my CarriePT Core video. Just like with all the others, make sure you don't experience any pain, numbness, or tingling with the exercises. If you need a break, make sure you pause to take them. This exercise workout's for you, and we want to make sure that you do it well. Good form always supersedes speed or repetitions. Make sure you have a glass of water, and we're good to go. First one we're going to start off with is plank. I'm going to start with a modified plank version. We're going to hold plank right like this. If you're already good with plank, okay, so we're going to start the exercise right now. Good. If you're already good with plank, then you can go up onto your elbows. The shoulder blades should be not down here, but nice and pushed up, belly tucked in. Nice long plank body, head in neutral. Keeping my core nice and stable. And again, sometimes it seems like it's easy, but as we get going, it'll get tiring. Hold that plank nice and firm. If you start to feel it in your lower back, a lot of times it's because your belly's not pulled in as tight as it should be. If you need to take a break, just bring your knees down, but keep that same plank position, and that'll still give you a really good workout. And nice job. Next one we're going to do is Russian twist. So you can keep your feet on the ground if you need to. And the Russian twist is going from one side to the other. Belly stayed in. The further back you are, the harder it is. If you want to make it harder, you can lift up your legs back and forth. There should be no popping in your hips at all. Your core is engaged and you're staying nice and stable. Good upright posture on the upper body. And you're keeping that nice breathing pattern. From the side, the further back you go, the harder it is, because the more I'm focusing on that core. So if you need to be a little bit more upright, that's okay too. 5 seconds. Keep it nice and strong. Keep those feet on the ground if you need to. Good. Next one is the roll-up. If you have trouble with the roll-up, that's this one here, starting all the way down, rolling up nice and slowly, touching your toes. I want you to start like this. Everybody start with me and go down as far as you can, and then pull yourself back up, nice and tall. Good, goes down as far as you can. Pull yourself back up nice and tall. If you have difficulty getting up, this is the way that I want you to work it. We're working those muscles in a nice slow control pattern all the way down. If you can go all the way down nice and slow, then I want you to add it in this way. But it's a nice and slow movement. You touch the toes, belly's pulled in super deep, shoulder blades are gliding down, and you're rolling all the way down. Good. Nice job. Again, seems like these might not be as hard, but they'll keep getting there as we go. Next, we're going to do side plank. If you need to start off, start on your knee with your leg out straight. You want to make sure this elbow is right underneath your shoulder. Good, and you've got a nice rainbow on the other side. You can lift up this arm here, and your body should be nice and straight. If this is easy for you, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can come up onto both legs. Hips are stacked on top of each other, feet are together, and you're holding that plank position. Keep that shoulder blade squeezed right underneath here. That's going to make it a little bit harder, but better for you in the long run. Two. And one. Nice job. We're going to do the other side. If you need to be on your knees, again, same thing. You can start with one leg out. Lift yourself up. Keep this nice and arched in through here. Shoulder blades squeezed. Back is nice and upright. I'm going to show you from the side on this one just so you can see form as well. Okay? So you want to make sure that as you lay, you're not too far forward or too far back. You want to be nice in a straight line Keep that rainbow on the underside. Belly stays pulled in. Head is nice and straight forward. Again, the first set always seems a little bit on the easy side, but as we get going, it gets to be a little bit harder. 3, 2, 1, and relax back down. Just going to move my screen over a bit for the next one. Beautiful sun is coming in. Now we got crisscross. So one knee stays bent, one knee comes to the opposite, and we alternate. This is if you've never done these before, this is the way you want to do them. If you notice, I'm reaching up to my knee. My hip stays at about 90 degrees. I'm not bringing it past that. This forces me to use those abdominal muscles a little higher up to pull forward. If you're good and strong, then you can separate your legs and twist this way. Nice job. The next one is a half kneeling chop. So one leg's out in front, one knee's behind. You can take some weights in your hand, and we're going to chop up and down. I'm rotating my body. I'm in a nice X pattern. You don't need those weights if you don't need to. The further your knees are apart, the more stable your base of support is. If you have any back problems with this one, keep that core engaged. The myth is that we shouldn't be twisting and turning, but that's what our bodies were designed to do. So it's really important to keep that core engaged. Good. Now we're going to swap sides. I'm going to show you from this angle. Okay, in that 90 here, 90 here, upright posture. Good. Now I'm going to switch sides. Elbow to hand here. If you notice, my whole body's turning, but I'm not bending forward. Then I'm not bending or arching my back backwards. This helps your hips, helps to keep your trunk engaged. Good. Remember, we're 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. The total combination of the exercises takes just about 20 minutes. It's amazing how you can feel in just 20 minutes. Our next one is going to go back into plank position. So this time, if you need to, I want you to stay on your knees. If you can, I want you to get on your elbows. And if you're really good in this position, we're going to start. You're going to shift your weight back and forth. You can do this if you're on your knees and just shift your weight back and forth or side to side. That challenges your plank a little bit more. Remember, those shoulder blades are nice and up. They're not sunk down. Our belly's pulled in. We're using those glute muscles. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. We're going to do the Russian twist. So remember, I said if you need to keep your feet on the ground, go right ahead and do that. If you want to add a little more challenge, add some weights in your hand. And you can do it with your feet down or up. We're going to start. If you want to even challenge it a little bit more, one leg out and one leg back. Keep your pelvis stable. Keep your core engaged. Shouldn't be rocking back from side to side. Good job. A lot of times when we use our upper body and our core, our breathing gets challenged as well. You should feel that in your belly. And take a break. Next one's the roll up. I'm going to show you this one from face on. So remember, you're going to do the roll down if you need to, or if you can, we're going to do the roll up. Belly stays pulled in, and you roll back down. Nice and slow. You don't want to hike to pull yourself up. You want to keep your core engaged. We're trying to do as many as we can in that time frame. If you just kind of use momentum to pull yourself up, you're missing out on the core strengthening opportunity. Good, we got 15 seconds more from the side view. Nice and pulled in deep here, deep pulled in here, shoulder blades down as we roll back down. And take a break. Now we're into side plank. So for those of you who are new to side plank, I want you to keep on that knee, okay? If you can, I want you to come up onto your toes. Good. And if you want a little bit more challenge, even on the kneeling plank, you can work on arm coming down and up. Or you can twist under and forward. Good, it's nice and controlled. I'm not dropping my hip. I'm staying in good alignment, and I'm keeping that there. Good, keep it stable. And we're gonna switch sides. Good, so again, if you need to, stay on one knee and one leg. Otherwise, I want you to try, elbow is directly underneath your shoulder again. You're gonna lift up, arm here. Again, this challenge you can do on your knee. If you want, you can add a little weight in your hand. As I'm trying to reach my arm forward, my body wants to pull forward, but I have to stay nice and stable. Good. Or you can tuck it under and forward. Belly stays pulled in. Core stays engaged. Shoulder blades are squeezed. Good. And bring it down. We're going to go into crisscross. So you can stay in that modified version, feet on the floor, or you can come to here. The goal is not to rock your pelvis too much from side to side, but to stay nice and stable. I'm not pulling on my head or my neck, I'm just supporting it. This is all that's pulling it up. You're trying to twist as well as reach. 15 seconds. And relax. Now we're going to get into that kneeling chop. For a little bit harder, if you want a little bit more of a leg workout, get into a static lunge. Good, and we're going to go from one side to the other. This challenges your balance, challenges your legs. But a lot of people think of core as just the sit-ups. And this is using core. Anytime you're chopping wood or lifting something, You're using those core muscles. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Swap sides. So from the side angle, I'm in that lunge position. Back up nice and straight. And I'm down here, here, and chopping up. Back is rotating. Core is engaged. Legs are working. No pain in that spine. Good, 15 seconds to go. And we're done our second round. Excellent. Come on, 5 seconds. Last one. Good. Grab some water. And we're back to plank. I'm going to modify this plank a little bit harder if you want. So you're going to bring your knee up, twist in, and back down. Again, stay with the plank. I'm just trying to show each of you different ways to make this your own. So I start with what I think is the best to start with to make sure you have good form. Because if you don't have good form and do these exercises, you can hurt yourself. That's why a lot of people get hurt starting off going to the gym. Oh, that's a good one. Russian twist. Can make it harder by adding a little bit more weight if you want. Good, and remember, if you scoot back a little bit more, it makes it harder. Belly stays pulled in. Core is engaged. Feeling this in those muscles. 15 seconds to go. Should be getting tired by now. I know I am. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Now we're going to go to the roll up. If you want to make that a little harder, you can add some weight to that as well. Let's begin. One vertebrae at a time is lifting up and forward, and then my belly's pulling super tight in, and I'm lowering nice and slowly. It's not about speed, it's about control. Sometimes you might find your feet wanting to lift. And as you get stronger, that'll get better. Shoulder blades are down. Good. And then slow, 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 lower. Nice job. Back into side plank. In 5 seconds. Boy, that 15-second break goes by fast. Good. Nice up into side plank. Now hold that nice and stable. Again, if you need to, don't forget to be on your knee. If you notice, my elbow is right directly under my shoulder. Got a nice little C shape here. I'm squeezing the shoulder blade and my top shoulder blade. Can always add a challenge. or I can always make it easier if we need to. You can lift that top leg and lower. But notice this side has to stay nice and strong. Lift and lower. Sometimes we need to do only what we can to challenge our body so that we stay in the right form. You know, you hear a lot about form, but I can't tell you how important that is. Good. The other side. So elbows under shoulder. We lift it up. Arm is up. Nice squeeze, stabilizing. Again, if you need to take a break, you can even just bring that knee down a little bit to take a break. In this position to challenge your core. If it's really hard for you to be up there, you can still do this one. And you can do this one too. You can do this one. So there's all kinds of ways to add challenge in the position that you can do. Okay, again, we're up in this position. Good. We can lift and lower. Belly has to stay super pulled in, and my core has to be engaged. If you notice, this is working shoulder and my hip inside here. Good. Now we're into crisscross. We want to make this one a little harder. We can keep both our legs out straight and cross as we're paddling back and forth. This is a little harder, and you need to have very, very, very good core stabilization. As I get tired, I start to feel it in my lower back. So then I go back into this. The further your legs are out and close to the floor, the harder it is to stabilize your core, especially when both are off the ground. So again, you should not feel this in your lower back. And if you do, you might just need to touch one foot down or keep it down and go back and forth. Last set. Can always make something harder, can't we? Can add a little bit more weight. Get into that nice lunge position. Bring it down. Hold it. And rotate. Good. It's a nice twist throughout. My goal for you is to make each of these exercises beneficial to you. I show you the modifications and the challenges because some you can change and some you can't. You always want to make sure if you can't do it on one side, you go to the weaker side to do it. So if your right side's stronger on plank and your left side's not, then keep it to the weaker side so that your core is balanced. A lot of times people will work one side more than the other because the one side can, but if the other side can't, you just keep creating an imbalance in those muscles. And that's what pulls our body out of alignment. And that's what gives us pain. So again, this can be done on your knees. And the rotation can be as small as it needs to. If you need to be here and just doing a small little bit without the weight, that's fine too. Thanks for joining me for this core workout. Make sure you cool down appropriately.